Welcome back to Wario Land. We're still in the Emerald Passage, and now we're in Sunflower Fields, where there's a bunch of bees everywhere.
My god.
Just can't enjoy the scenery for once. Oh my goodness.
He's allergic!
I'm pretty sure being allergic to bees doesn't make you turn into a balloon and fly away.
It
Dude.
doesn't!
Well, it does in this instance, so there.
Now, I will say that I don't know, a Puffy Wario is probably my least favorite transformation in the game, mostly just because I don't feel like it, there's already a handful of transformations that let you just go straight upwards, like the Bat one and the Spring Wario, which is infinitely better than Spring Wario from Spring Wario, which is infinitely better than Spring Mario from Galaxy. But so this one just feels kind of redundant, although it might just be because I played this level. This was one of the last levels I played, so you know, that might have something to do with it. It is pretty funny looking though.
Now, what are the point of the segmented jewels that you can find?
Segmented jewels, those are basically, you need those so you can unlock the boss door.
Okay, so they are mandatory.
Yes. They're not terribly well hidden, though, so you will generally get them along your way.
Yeah, I've only missed some one or two times throughout my playthroughs. The CDs, which are optional, right?
Yes.
Those unlock little goofy things in the sounds menu, and those are a little bit better hidden, from what I remember.
Yes.
Man, you gotta love this personality contrast between Mario and Wario, right? Okay, Mario mixed nice with bees, and Wario just elbow slams them.
Wario elbow slams everything.
Does he elbow slam his own elbows?
A conundrum for the ages. Now, as I ignore that question, when you collect, the thing about the collecting the segments though for the levels that sort of threw me off when I went to the Sapphire passage first is that from what the tutorial level told me, is that when you collect the segments, you collect them sort of in a counterclockwise or clockwise motion.
But that's not always the case.
It's not always the case, and that threw me off because when I went to the Sapphire passage and the first segment I collected was the bottom right one, I figured, oh shit, I just missed the first 3 segments. It's like, I thought I was doing a good job. But, no, it's not always the case. It's kind of disorienting a little bit, honestly, but...
It is a good rule of thumb,
went.
though, from what because, like, I'd say 80% of the levels you collect the thingies in that order, so...
Yeah. And then they throw you for a loop one time, and then you're panicking.
I think that might have been the point, because this game does like to dick with you. I got into the habit of elbow slamming and headbutting into every wall I could see, just in case there was a hidden block there that I could break. Although that just might be my inner Metroid kicking in.
So I call it going into DuckTales mode, where you pogo jump on everything. Everything. To find those little nooks and crannies that will suddenly appear if you manage to land on them, or hidden passageways for treasure and gold, because it's not like Scrooge doesn't have enough fucking money.
You know. I have DuckTales remastered, and I couldn't get into it for one specific thing, and that's you have to jump through a specific spot in the air wherever a collectible is for the collectible to appear, and then you need to collect the collectible.
Oh,
That's
I
what
hated
I'm
that
getting
too.
at.
Oh man.
That's why I was getting at pogo jumping on everything.
Well, it's not even just the pogo jumping, although that is a thing too, but it's like every space of air could potentially have a coin or something in it, and you need to jump through that space of air to get the coin to appear so that you can go back and get it. It basically slows the game down, it doubles the amount of time that you need to spend everywhere if you're actually going to collect things. Like, even if you already know where the collectibles are, you still need to jump through that spot in the air, and then jump through the collectible again.
So, let me ask, I mean, the last Wario Land game was Shake It for the Wii.
Yes.
Now, you see, the reason why I didn't immediately think that was, and I speak as a man who never played Shake It, I thought Shake It was just another one of those standalone Wario titles like Masters of the Skies for the DS. where
Nope.
it wasn't a Wario Land game per se, but rather Wario in a different sort of spiel, like Wario World was for the GameCube. But Shake It is the last Wario Land game to be released, and that was a console game, but it was
Yeah,
2008. It's been 7 years.
Shake It is a game that I've like always been meaning to play, but just never got around to for some reason. Because
It's like bargain bin. I think it's bargain bin price now.
yeah, because it looks really good. Like it's almost like full on. Oh, if you throw the caterpillars into that big sunflower, you get coins. The animation on that game is really nice. It looks almost like it's a 2D animated cartoon. With like I think
Yeah.
Wario has like 20,000 frames of animation or something ridiculous like that. So the game does look really nice. It's just I never got around to playing it for whatever reason. So I'm hoping that if Nintendo's going, oh, I love that if you walk into an enemy that can't hurt you, there's an animation of Wario's fat on his stomach going good boy. There's what was I saying? But yeah, like if Nintendo's gonna be putting Wii games on the Wii U Virtual Console, then I'm really hoping that Shake It's one of the games that goes, so that I don't have to hunt down a physical copy.
Well, these days a game like Wario Land Shake It would be a downloadable title first and foremost, but the game does sort of it has I want to say HD sprites, but it's not an HD game, so that's kind of a bad way to describe it.
Just say high quality.
Yeah, it's basically I played it for like 10 minutes on a demo kiosk at GameStop, so this is the extent of my knowledge of the game. But it's basically this, except you can use the Wii remote and shake the Wii remote whenever you pick up a treasure bag.
Yeah, to get the most out of it, I'd imagine.
Yeah, you pick up a treasure bag, you shake it. You shake it. Yeah, that's the title of the game. You shake it, and lots of coins fly out. And then
But
you
so
pick
wait,
up
the
coins.
game is not about how Wario dances and we can't appreciate his jiggle physics?
No, it's not.
So we won't know how
I don't know.
Wario can shake it off. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah. But it's Wario Land Shake It is a full-fledged Wario Land game. It's a bit odd to see a 2D sprite-based platformer on a console at that particular point in time, and sold as a retail disc game rather than a download title that has a retail version, a la Rayman Legends and stuff.
Oh no, Rayman. Neither of the Rayman platformers were downloadable games. I think they were intended to be, but both of them are full-on retail price games. Which I actually, I don't really. I think the perception is that 2D games are somehow always end up being shorter than main console games. So that's why they don't tend to go for as much. But really, Rayman Origins and Legends are both like 8 to 10 hour games, which is about as long as a normal, a standard third person shooter or whatever. So I think they're worth the money at the very least.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's just for some reason there's still this perception, even though like retro revivals and 2D games are a big thing now, there's still some big perception that 2D games are somehow lesser or not as hard to make, which is really kind of bullshit. But
What I think part of that comes from is the idea that sprite animations and stuff don't take as much space as like a big old 3D world,
It might take up less hard drive space, but that doesn't mean it takes any less work to make, because sprite animation is really, really intricate. You can kind of you don't have again, I'm not an animator. John's an animator, so he can call me out if I say anything wrong here. But
You're wrong! I'm kidding.
But if you for 3D animations, you can you don't have to be as precise as if you're doing a sprite animation. You can let physics engines and stuff take the reins sometimes with 3D
I would
animation.
say most of the strenuous work for 3D animators, and I can't speak for them entirely because 3D animation is not my focus. I'm 2D, but the hard part about 3D animating is not so much modeling, but rigging. What do you want to move? What do you want to have emphasis when you move this one thing? It's a matter of there's a lot of individual layers to it all. Like, you get this character, you want to move his arms, okay, but what about his fingers? His hair should move when he twists his head. What about, like squash and stretch? You got to do that to make it a little more zany if that's what you want to go for. It's a lot of intricate stuff for 2D animation. These sprites are built pixel by pixel. It starts as a drawing on a piece of paper. They all do. But you have to painstakingly recreate it using pixels. And I've never been good at pixel art. I have a deep admiration for those that can make beautiful works of art with using these little dots that just make a big picture altogether. But you have to do that over and over again for games like this because you have to make it look nice.
See, video games are just impressionist paintings. Like, I can't remember, but there's
Monet.
that Monet. Yeah, the guy who had the painting of all the it's like a park or something, and it's just a bunch of dots. World's first pixel artist.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
Spring
Spring
Wario.
Wario.
Infinitely better than that asshole Spring Mario.
For one, he becomes the spring rather than getting a spring on him.
2, it doesn't control like gas.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
probably
get it.
because
I can do everything better than Mario, and he still gets all the money.
Because I've got the $1 million contract.
The hell with your $1 million contract?
honestly, it looks exactly the same except in 2D, which is probably what makes it control better.
It's exactly why it controls better.
It's nice to know the swimming mechanics are just as painful as always.
No, I'd say that Wario swimming is probably pretty good. Like, the only thing that kind of bothers me is that Wario always wants to go up, because I guess all that
It's a
fat...
fat fuck who floats.
yeah, all that fat makes him really fucking buoyant. But, other than that, I'd say it's like a faster version of Kirby swimming, which has always been one of the least painful types of video game swimming in my eyes. So, yeah.
I would say it's the equivalent of Frog Mario in Mario 3.
Oh,
Because you can dash in any direction you want by pressing the button, and you're constantly floating upwards, as you mentioned earlier. That sounds exactly like Frog Mario.
okay.
But this is still better.
Well, it's because you
Wario
don't have to
doesn't need
get
a
a
fox.
power-up that makes you absolutely useless on land in order to swim like that.
Yeah.
Wario useful everywhere, ladies.
No, Wario doesn't care about the ladies. He cares about... the only lady he cares about is... I forget the name of the person on the golden dollar bill. The golden dollar coin.
Sacagawea.
Sacagawea, yeah. You're supposed to go
I
in
thought
the...
you were going to talk about Susan B. Anthony for a second there. What?
Wario is a Wave 1 feminist? Okay. You're supposed to go into the bubble to go up through the current and get a thing. I played through most of this game just a couple of days ago because I figured we're recording this. I have it on my 3DS for the Ambassador program. Might as well play it. But yeah. So a lot of this is still very fresh in my brain.
Yeah, I bought it on the Wii U Virtual Console because that's a thing. I know we got into this topic beforehand with another game, but I still don't understand why they just don't make Game Boy Advance games for the 3DS eShop.
Because they're hard to emulate. So
Yeah, I know. I remember we went into that. I just still don't get it. Take the time and effort to release an update or I don't know, maybe the new 3DS with its faster CPU can do something that the other 3DS can't. But I don't know that'll cause a gap in the market. I get all that. It's still a little odd.
Yeah. From what I'm actually hoping for is that with Nintendo's doing that new Club Nintendo program. Well, not the replacement for Club Nintendo. And also, in that the most recent Direct at the time of this recording, they had that Mario vs. Donkey Kong deal, where if you buy the Wii U version, you get the 3DS version free, and vice versa. I think that what they're planning on doing I think that they're trying to, finally, moving it at Nintendo paces, but I think they're finally trying to move towards, a full-on cross-buy kind of system, or
You mean like that thing that Sony's already been doing for years?
Yeah, Nintendo works at their own pace. They get a
Yeah, that's why Ted specifically said Nintendo pace.
yeah. So they get a gold star for trying. is all that I'd say.
Man, Nintendo and Valve both have one thing in common. That it's a very good thing that the games they make are so awesome, because no one would put up with how slow they do things otherwise.
Well, to be fair, I'd say that Steam is probably a better online service than the eShop, but I get what you're saying.
Well, yeah, Valve understands the internet.
How do you, internet, please understand?
It's slow and steady wins the race when you're the only participant.
Yeah.
Okay, things have gotten a lot more jungle-y for some reason.
Well, because we're above the water now.
This is the thing about Wario Land 4, it's just that you have to reach the end of the level, and then you activate a bomb. And you gotta get... What's this thing's name?
Keezer.
What's it? Keezer. And then you have to backtrack to the beginning of the level, so that you can use Keezer to unlock the doorway to the next level.
I think that's part of what gives me the Metroid vibes. Is like you get the escape sequence like every 10 minutes. And I will say it's a pretty tense situation because you're usually platforming through a different part of the level on your way back, and a lot of the times there's still a thing there's still a piece of the gemstone or whatever it's supposed to be to find on your way back. So it's kind of like it's a very much a risk reward kind of thing where you can be like Wario and try to grab all the crap on your way back, or you can fuck up and then have to do the entire level all over again. So I really like that kind of game design because there is no like live system in Wario Land. Like if you die or if that timer runs out, you just get booted out of the level, all your stuff's lost, and you have to find it again, which I think is a fair punishment for failure. So